got kicked out because of toothpaste. Like, I'm leaving. This is my last day. Like, I didn't even get really to say goodbye to them, really. And I remember she was like, yeah, okay, friend. They say your eyebrows are supposed to look like twins or cousins, at least for the most part, but I feel like mine don't even belong in the same species. What's up, y'all? It's me, Francesca, and I'm back with another video, and it's been a while, and for some people who actually watch my videos, it's been a grip. But I feel like a lot has been going on, so that's my excuse. That's literally my excuse. But I'm back now, and I'm gonna try to see if I can make like videos and post them at least 3 to 4 times monthly, because I mean, we're quarantining anyways. It's not like I'm really doing anything. So, but by the title of the video, you already know what we will be talking about, the story time and all of that good stuff. But before you get into the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure that you stay tuned for more videos. The story time is ghetto. But basically what happened was, my sister and I, my older sister and I, we used to live with this lady who we called our aunt. But she really wasn't our aunt like that. Alright, so let's say that your parent, from whatever country that they were at, whether I don't know, like I feel like it's mostly Africans and Caribbeans. I'm Haitian, so my dad was friends with her in Haiti, and then they both ended up coming to America. They did not come to America together, but they still managed to stay in touch. So I then, like my dad's kids, we would then look at them as an aunt or an uncle. That's how she becomes an aunt. But we ended up having like problems because the place that we were at originally, my sister and I, it was a little bit too crowded. So we ended up just moving in with her because she kind of needed our help anyways, because she had a little son at that time. And so like she just wanted to help us in general anyways, because she was like naturally like really sweet and kind and all that stuff. So she was like, I bet, I'm down for it, let's do it. So we ended up moving over there. Now, I think the plan was for us to stay for like a year or two, but we ended up staying roughly for like 4 to 6 years. It was good. Like, you know, she didn't really like treat us like horrible. Like, it wasn't really like that. But this is where the story becomes. Towards the ending of our like stay, I would say, she kind of became a little bit like, it was kind of like she didn't want us to leave, right? Because my dad ended up getting married to Tamer's mom. And so obviously they wanted us to go and like live with them and all that. And so I remember she would be telling us, oh, like, do you really want to go? All this stuff. So she really didn't want us to like leave like that. But before that, my sister and I, we were like fine, right? We were chilling and stuff like that. But then my sister, she used to go to like this college thing, and so she would like normal college people, like they would go and pack, you know, when they come home, they would like pack their clothes, they would do their hygiene bag and all this extra stuff. Now my aunt at that time, I think she was going through some stuff personally within herself, so she really wasn't at like her best and all that, and she was kind of like going through her own thing, just like in her life, right? I'm not about to air her situation out or anything like that. That ain't my problem. And the reason why I feel like I'm okay to like share this story is because I feel like both of us, like not both of us, but I feel like all of us have literally just like grown from it. It is what it is. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, I look back at it per se and I just laugh, because it's like, it's such a weird like story to say. Like, I don't think I've ever heard somebody like getting kicked out because of, you know, toothpaste. But you know, afterwards, one day, my sister came home. She came home back from college, right? And so she was upstairs and I was downstairs, and my aunt, she would do night shifts. So she would like leave the house at 10, but then get ready by 9 and all of this extra stuff. And I remember how her niece was at the house, and we were all like watching TV and everything, and I decided to go and brush my teeth, right? This is where it came in. I decided to go and brush my teeth, but there wasn't any more toothpaste. And so I remember that, like, my sister, she had this little toothpaste thing from her college thing from coming back. She brought it with her, and my sister was hella stingy. Like, she was so stingy. Sharing was like, she would need to give you a whole speech in order for you to like borrow something of hers. So I decided, since she was upstairs and I really needed to brush my teeth, I decided to go inside our room, and I decided to take the tube of toothpaste that she had so I can use it. And my aunt, she saw me using it, so she assumed that it was like for everybody in the house, but it wasn't for everybody. Like, this girl didn't even know that I was using her toothpaste, okay? So after I finished using it, I put it back. And then my aunt, she goes into the bathroom, and she's like getting ready for work at this time. And she's like, oh, like, you know, where's the toothpaste? Like, all this, all that. And she asked me, and I was like, yeah, we don't have toothpaste. And so I was like, but I was telling her, like, we don't have toothpaste, just for her to, like, you know, like, yeah, like, we're low on toothpaste, blah, 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 blah. And that night, like, it was like she was like, I don't know, like, if she got into an argument earlier, like, when we were either at school or, like, early, like, I don't know, but she ended up getting so, like, angry and mad, and she just, like, started, like, screaming, and she was like, oh, so are you serious? Like, I just saw you with a tube of toothpaste and all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, but the toothpaste is not mine. It's my sister's. And like I said, my sister was was upstairs, and we were downstairs. And I'm like, yeah, it's not mine. You know, like, if you want to use it, feel free to, like, just say, oh, like, let me borrow the toothpaste that I saw you using earlier, because it's not mine. So why am I going to sit here and go and grab somebody else's stuff to give you if it's not mine? If anything, you can ask her, or you can ask me, and I can ask her. And that's the plan that I wanted to, like, do, and that's what I was going to say. And so she started screaming, like, she was just calling me, like, selfish. Oh, like, you're really gonna take this and you're not even gonna use it. I get you guys toothpaste all the time, blah 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 blah, and I put toothpaste in the house all the time, and blah, 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 blah. And so I'm like, what the hell? Like, what is going on? And basically, it ended up, like, escalating to the point where her niece came over, and her niece was like, what's going on? And she's like, you know, we're explaining and everything, and my sister starts coming from downstairs, and my sister's like looking at her like, you're doing all of this over some toothpaste, like, and my sister was like, it's my toothpaste, like, I can give you guys some because I came back from college with it. I didn't know that we didn't have any toothpaste in the house, all this extra stuff. And she was just going off, and at this point, like, I was so angry and upset because the stuff that she was saying, I was just like, are you serious? Like, are we really about to do this right now over some toothpaste? Like, take the toothpaste. And so my sister ended up giving her the toothpaste, and so she was like, nah, I don't want it, I don't need it, you guys are so selfish, blah 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 blah. And I'm just looking at, like, at that point, I think I was like, what, like 14, 15, maybe 16, something like that. So I started, like, bawling, because I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I get so, like, overwhelmed. And when I get overwhelmed, and, like, especially, like, if I'm having an argument with somebody and I get overwhelmed, it makes me want to, like, hit that person. But I know that, like, I can't hit that person because A, she's an elder, and B, it's not right to even put your hands on somebody when you're angry at them in any ways. So the way that I tend to let it out is by crying. Like, I started bawling out. And so I remember afterwards, she was like, oh, since you are so selfish, you can't even give me some toothpaste and everything, get out of my house, get out of my house, all this, all that. But I feel like that kind of, like, stemmed from her thinking that we were gonna leave from the first place, because my dad did end up getting married, and so my dad was trying to get us back. So I felt like that's kind of, like, where it stemmed from, but I'm not really sure, because you shouldn't be, like, reacting like that over a tube of toothpaste. Like, it's not that big of a deal. I'm not gonna sit here and kick somebody out because of some toothpaste. Like, if anything, I will ask, or I'll be like, oh, like, why, you know, not, like, kick them out. So I ended up like getting kicked out and everything, and she was just like screaming all this, and my sister, she was like trying to like make peace with everything, and my sister's like, here, like, use the toothpaste. She's like, no, no, I don't want it. And so I'm like, okay, don't take it, it's fine. And so I like ended up just going inside the room, and her niece, at that point, her niece was looking at her like, what the going on, because this ain't making sense. But she was trying to like convince her niece to like take her side type of thing, to see where she's coming from and all of this. And her niece is like, okay, you know, all this stuff. So it was so bad to the point where like this lady became late for work. Like, she was upset. Oh, she was hot. She was mad. She was like, call your dad, tell him to pick you guys up, I can't do this no more, call your dad, call her dad, and all of this extra stuff. So I was like, F that, like, F it. So I just called my dad, and then I told my dad about the situation, and my dad was like, oh my god, this was like kind of a week or a couple of days before Thanksgiving. So my dad was like, what is going on? My dad just hears her like screaming in the background, and like I'm crying, and my sister trying to talk, all this stuff, blah 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 blah. Like, I was so shocked, and I was just so like over the situation, that I literally, like, my whole entire face became gray. Like, I just had no emotion at that point, because I was literally like, you're really gonna kick us out over some like a tube of toothpaste? Like, you're really that angry that you're just gonna sit here and you're like gonna scream at us like this over some toothpaste that wasn't even mine? Like, really? And so I remember that night, when she finally went to go, you know, get ready for work and everything, and she's leaving, she's like, yeah, you guys need to pack your stuff, I'm not gonna do this no more, I need you gone by tomorrow morning, blah, 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 all this extra stuff. So I guess like she went to work, and she probably thought like she overreacted or anything like that, because the next morning we woke up, and she actually found us like packing our things, and my dad was like on the way to like pick us up and all this extra stuff. And then you could tell that like she felt like she overreacted, but she can't really take back what she just said, because like she said so much stuff, and she was just like so angry and annoyed and like screaming and all this stuff. Like I have never seen such a thing over a tube of toothpaste. Like, I have never. And so we're packing our stuff. Like, at this point, like, I'm still like shocked. My sister is just like over it. Her niece was sleeping over, and her niece was just like feeling really bad and sorry for us and all this stuff. And she was just like upstairs, and she was like, oh my god, like, you know, all this stuff. And I think she was talking to her brother and all that. And so I remember me just calling my friends, and I'm like, dude, like, I'm leaving, because I really did not want to, because at that time I was a freshman in high school, and I really did not want to like leave, because I wanted to stay in that school, because I was, first of all, it was lit freshman year for me, okay? And my grades were looking nice, and I really didn't want to start school at a whole new different town, new different like environment, all this extra stuff. So I was calling my friends, and I'm like, yo, like, I'm really leaving, all this stuff. Like, I got kicked out because of toothpaste. Like, I'm leaving, this is my last day. All the, like, I didn't even get really to say goodbye to them, really. And I remember she was like, yeah, okay, friend, all right. And I was like, I'm for real. She's like, toothpaste. Because she didn't believe it. And I wouldn't believe it either. But I ended up calling my friends, and I'm like, yeah, like, I'm leaving. Like, this is it. I'm done. Like, I'm moving to another town. All this stuff. So my dad came. She's talking to my dad. My dad's like, Francesca, just grab your stuff. All of us are grabbing our things. We're putting in the car. And I remember me going up to her son, and I was like, all right, bye. Like, he didn't really want to talk to me anyways, like, which I was very like confused about, because like he was kind of like my brother, I would say. And like I literally like took care of this dude, and he was just like, I mean, I don't know, it's his mom anyway. So I was just like, all right, bye, you know, all this stuff. And I remember coming to my dad, but he was like, damn, like, you look great, like, you need to stop crying, like, all this stuff, like, you know, blah, 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 it's not your fault. And then my dad, of course, wants to come out the cut and, like, start, oh, well, you should have, my dad was so annoying at that time. But, so, overall, I remember after like the day of or the next day, her brother ended up calling me, and her brother was apologizing for her, and her brother was like, yeah, like this makes no sense, you know, like I don't understand why she would do that. I don't understand why she was overreacting like that. I think she was just like going into like her own personal issues. That's why she kind of probably like took it out on you guys and all this, because it just makes no sense for her to like get so upset and angry over a tube of toothpaste, basically. And then the brother was like, oh, like I think you should come over for, you know, Thanksgiving dinner, all this stuff. We ended up not going to the dinner because everything was just like so fresh and all this extra stuff, so we ended up just staying. But guys, that was literally it. Like I look back to that day and I just laugh. I mean, hey, to each its own at this point. To each its own. But that was the story time of the time that I got kicked out because of toothpaste. All right. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And also feel free to hit me up on Instagram or Snapchat and tell me what other videos you would like for me to do.